Hi, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick. I am joined by Chris, Joey, IK, and Mike, and we have special guest, the Crypto Boys. We're going to be talking Cardano, aren't we, Chris?
Yeah, really excited to delve into your thoughts on Cardano, everyone. It's going to be good.
It's going to be absolutely epic. That's the aim and the ambition. But let's start things off, Chris, by talking about the up-and-coming upgrade for Cardano. What's your thoughts on that, Crypto Boys?
Well, my biggest thought about the Vasil hard fork and what I think is so important about it is that no one really knows the implications that's going to happen in the future. And everything that I've been looking at with Cardano, because of the state of the market, people were looking for some sort of pump that wasn't going to happen. So when you do that and you aren't applying logic to the place you're actually at right now, is how people got wrecked. And that's why I thought, I'm like, do I like what's going on? Do I think it's cool that it keeps getting delayed? I don't think it really matters right now. I think they're making the best decisions possible to make sure they're rolling out a full and complete product like 𝗕𝗪𝗪 Hoskinson always does. So do I think it's kind of like, hey, this is just what Cardano does? Yes, it just happens to be what Cardano does in the bear market, and and Charles and the team doesn't care either way with whatever state of the market it's in.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, let's kind of talk about the elephant in the room a little bit, and maybe everyone can weigh in on this one as well, right? Because obviously there was a big bug found within the testnet under the Vasil hard fork right now. I look at the delays in a real positive, because that could have hit the mainnet if there were no delays, right? So what's your thoughts, IK?
Yeah, we have to be, look, Cardano always reminds me of the tortoise and hare story, okay? I do love how Cardano work. It's all community led, and I think they're going to do really well. It's better to fix a product before you go mainstream like Solana and even Ethereum and continuously have issues. Okay, I think the way that they're doing it, 𝗕𝗪𝗪 Hoskinson, I think they're amazing. I think it's the best way. They're going to get a lot of people who are going to hate on them, but this is the way forward, in my opinion. Get it all right from the beginning and then unleash. And I every time I hear the word Cardano, it's always tortoise and hare, tortoise and hare. It's just ringing in my head, and I think they're going to do really well. And I am going to be going deep into Cardano soon when the time's right, when I know Nick and Chris are buying, and then I'm just going to stake it with a cheeky pool and earn my passive income. That's my plan.
Yeah, Mike, what's your thoughts on the testnet issues and delays and things like that?
Well, I think IK put it perfectly, that the reason I've always been bullish on Cardano is the peer reviewed portion to their project, right? Like, they don't just put the product out. Like other projects have probably put it out and they've had bugs, but they didn't admit that they had bugs and they just put it out, right? And I think that's what makes Cardano and Charles and makes the project itself just so bullish, is that I think they genuinely care. They don't want downtime. I feel like downtime would be the ultimate, like, horrible thing that could happen with Cardano, because they do take so long to do everything. But when they do it right, it just flows seamlessly. It's perfect. It just moves. So I'm Cardano's always my biggest bag, and it's going to continue to be my biggest bag. And everyone will see why soon enough.
If I can chime in on that real quick,
Yeah.
One of the things that I would say is it's almost an integrity thing. Like Charles coming out and saying, hey, we got these issues. I'd rather fix it now because I'm doing stuff when no one is watching type of feel. Like, if you return the grocery cart at the store, like, that's an integrity thing. I think he's doing the same thing and helping all of us out by not just saying, hey, here's a crappy, testnet, whatever. We had an issue, but it'll be fine. You'll probably figure it out. No big deal. Like, we can't have that. We can't have outages. We can't have a Solana type feel as Cardano continue to move forward. So I think it's extremely bullish for the Cardano community to have that going forward.
Well, it's a if I can chime in on that, it's a trickle down effect, right? Like, if that bug is inside of it and it affects all of these other projects, right? Like, it's going to put a lot of projects on hold if they have to go backwards, or if there's downtime. I mean, the amount of projects that's coming on top of, Chris, you could probably chime in with this, like the amount of projects that come on top of Cardano right now, it's waiting for the Vasil hard fork to be complete, right? Like, I mean, just one little error could just set all of the projects back.
Yeah, I mean, you could also say, what would that bug have done to the project's building on the ecosystem, how damaging could that have been for many different brands other than Cardano if it was not found in the testnet, right? I mean, that's the idea of the testnet, break it.
But that's the biggest issue, right? The biggest issue is that this was supposed to be VASIL ready to go on the testnet. There were no more bugs at the time, and had everything pushed through correctly, then and on schedule, then that bug would have potentially entered into the mainnet. So it's great that they found it, but they only found it because there were delays, and the delays were caused primarily because of liquidity. So in a roundabout way, we can kind of thank the exchanges for not kind of speeding along and implementing the VASIL hard fork, because they actually saved Cardano on this particular instance. But it does kind of stress the point that it's good to be the tortoise rather than the hare, to take your time, be methodical, and actually don't produce something like Solana or Ethereum in its early days, and actually produce something and get it right first time. Make sure there's an absolutely squeaky clean before it makes it to the mainnet, right? And they were lucky this time, and hopefully this is going to be a huge learning experience that prevents them from making similar mistakes going forward, right? And I've got some interesting kind of facts actually on Cardano, as I've been into my data recently, Chris. You know this, and I'm
just shared on Twitter, by the way.
What the XRP one?
Yeah, the XRP one. Yeah,
I've got similar data for Cardano, right? And market cap, I think, is like 14.81 billion. The liquid market is 14 billion, and the realized market cap. Now, this is an interesting metric. The realized market cap is $23.57 billion. Now, that realized market cap is the purchase price that people paid for Cardano's ADA ahead of, well, since it was last moved, basically, but no, it's put into a wallet. So what we're looking at here is nigh on $10 billion that actually, you know, lost from retail investors or investors, which I thought was quite an interesting kind of take on it. So people were buying quite close to the local top at about $3.10, of which we're 85% down from at the moment.
And what's going to be really interesting, Nick, and I don't know if you're building this into your reports, but you know, I do like to you know, crush the myths that do come, because I know that there'll be people clipping this, that stat of losing that amount of money on, you know, in retail, right? I wonder what the comparison is for other chains like your Solana, like your.
Funny you mentioned that.
I know, it's almost like I'm teeing you up for something I know you've already done.
Yeah. So in the case of Ethereum, I've got that number. The market cap today, I think, is 177.64 billion. Realized is 177.67 billion. So there's a slight loss with Ethereum, but not to the same degree. And Solana, funny enough, there isn't as much information available, which I found the most interesting, right? I can't pull things like the fees that Solana's been you know, charging, or the number of blocks that they've created, the number of addresses, or the realized market cap, or the transaction volume. But I can pull that for things like Cardano. So it's quite interesting that certain pieces of information are missing. I don't have the realized market cap, but the liquid market cap is about 16.53 billion for Solana, with the actual market cap being 10.67 billion. So there's definitely some gaps between Solana and Cardano, but Cardano is fully transparent in terms of all the data that I have there. It's quite interesting to kind of take a look at.
Nick and Chris, I have a question for you too. So do you guys already have your price point set for ADA when you're going to buy more, or your bag's already full? Or what are you guys doing moving forward with ADA, and when are you guys going to start to buy, or obviously not buy anymore?
So I guess if I start first, Nick, I think I wanted to revisit my portfolio because the percentages were kind of all over the place. Anybody in the Discord that's a Patreon member will see all of my buys, right? And sells and all my staking movements and stuff. But yeah, like I think I got a little bit carried away with Cardano, and it probably didn't help the cause. That before I actually went and revisited the percentages of my portfolio, I increased my holding of Cardano by about 30 or so percent. I think selling at around it was somewhere between 56 cent and 62 cent. And then bought back much lower when I increased my portfolio by about 30%. I did it several times whilst it was volatile. So that didn't help the cause. I think my Cardano position was sat at about 38% of my portfolio. which was far too high, you know, from where I really wanted it. So I'm going to be stacking up other projects to even out the percentages, rather than purchasing any more Cardano. But that's not because I don't like the project. It's just that I went a bit OTT already.
And for me, it's quite simple. I'm waiting for a trend, right? So I'm not dollar cost averaging or anything like that. I'm kind of waiting for a trend up, and then I'm going to buy the dip after, right? I want to confirm that we're going in the right direction before wanting to purchase, but different strategies and things like that. But that's kind of where I sit with this one. So I think personally, the bottom is going to be somewhere between 28 and 34 cent, possibly pushing as low as 22.23. But you know, I'm waiting for the trend regardless.
Well,
So-
I love that you just said that, Nick, because you just said something almost every new investor messes up, is that they're trying to catch bottoms everywhere they go. You're looking for a reversal, looking for a trend up, and then that's your buy indicator.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you wait for your trend up, and then you wait for your corrective structures down, and then you can buy from there.
Love
So
it.
I think Joey might have something to say.
Yeah, I'm here. No, I'm fascinated just listening. Maybe I just have some, more bearish hopium, but I still do think there's a shout of Cardano being lower than 20 cents. I've just kind of got that target.
Yeah,
but
there is a really low target of about 15 something. But you have to hit a few other things first, which that's why I don't talk about it too much. Because it's like, if, for example, if Bitcoin hits 14,600, then we can talk about 10K. But there's no point in talking about 10K until you first hit those trigger points. It's the same for Cardano. You kind of have to wait for it to hit certain things to confirm that you're moving in that direction. Otherwise, we might potentially mislead people, which we don't want to do we?
Yeah, absolutely. When we've been talking on the podcast, we're always saying that, not absolutely nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging on your way down. And if people are holding Cardano, of course, can't guarantee this in the future, but I think they're going to be absolutely fine. I still think it's a great project. I personally will probably buy some if we get under that 35 cent, but I'll definitely keep a majority of cash on the side in case things go really downtown. Just going back to what we were talking about with the upgrade as well, I thought it was really interesting that Adam Dean, the lead engineer, that the actual language he used, I was quite surprised, calling it catastrophically broken. Obviously, that really annoyed Charles. So unsurprisingly, catch a bit of FUD, but I didn't see any alternative. I couldn't think of any other motive or reason why you'd say that, unless that was the problem. But I think everyone's just been way too caught up on this Vassal hard fork, and really should be thinking about Hydra down the road. I think Hydra is going to be much bigger, and of course, all that layer 2 scaling is going to be coming.
Yeah, I think there's loads to come. I think, regardless of where we go price wise in this bear phase or bear cycle, I think Cardano is one of the strongest projects, in the respect that you've got so many projects ready to go. I mean, I talked to many different CEOs of different projects, a lot that are building on Cardano or ready for when they can go live on there. And oracles, gaming projects, metaverse projects, scaling solutions, and there's just so much of it. DeFi is going to be huge. The stuff that they're doing with the likes of World Mobile as well, I think really unique, and a lot of people will see Cardano now as a blue chip, whereas we kind of saw that really early on, didn't we, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, when you're buying Cardano at less than, I think, 8 cents, something like that.
Oh,
Why you gotta brag about it? Why you gotta brag? Like, why?
It's
Why?
just a gentle
Yeah.
reminder for
Hey,
the.
can we just cut it? Can we
Just
cut it?
I think there is reasoning, right? Because
Yeah.
I talk about other projects like Findora, for example. Like, it's just over 0.5 cent at the moment. This is why we talk about the prices we got into for the likes of Cardano, right, and other projects, because it's a gentle reminder that you might not have got Cardano at 8 cent because you weren't watching us. Hit that subscribe, tap that notification bell, and be ready for the next one, right? Like Findora, which reminds me of when we got into Matic at like 1.5 cent, Nick. I shared the Friday flashback.
Did you drop your mic just now?
cringeworthy.
Did you drop the mic?
Yeah.
Just
Got
say it.
I actually
I picked it back up. We're there.
I loved how like kind of old school that flashback was. It's really great to see how the channels come along. Now, Colin, you've been on an absolute roller coaster with AD yourself. Obviously recently just sold out, bro. I mean, looks like a good move now. How are you feeling about it when you look at the scoot back up?
Well, I can tell you this, very summary. If you guys want to watch the full video, head over to the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗧 channel. It is there. I sold everything. You'll see it. But yes, I wrote it up from 18K over $180,000 in my account. Didn't sell a penny of it because I wasn't watching cheeky crypto and telling me when I should sell it and not sell it. And I wrote it all the way back down, and I wrote it down to like 45 cents. And just like Chris just said, it pumped up between 56 and 62. I was 61 cents as my cost basis, and I sold it all. And then it got locked up into Voyager for 2.5 months. So I just got that back about 2 days ago, and now it's on an exchange ready to buy more.
Oh, so you got your cash from that sell though.
Yes. Yeah, but I turned it into US.
Well done. Congratulations, mate.
Well done, sir. Thank you, sir. 3 days before it happened.
We've been following y'all's journey with Voyager, man. I'm glad. I was so glad to watch y'all's that one stream where you were like, "We got our money back."
Dude, we were pumped.
Listen, hats off to Chase as well. Money. Hats off to Chase, mate.
Appreciate it. He's coming back on, I think, tomorrow. So yeah.
Has Chase bought any crypto yet?
Yes, he bought 88. Yes! And he bought some Bitcoin. Yes, he did.
Chase,
he did.
Finally,
he put a couple grand in. Yep.
We've converted one.
It's true.
Tell him about VeChain and Findora, right?
I'm gonna show him this podcast. He's gonna know. I'm showing him this video.
Have y'all followed Findora at all?
I put a fedora on before, but haven't dove too deep into Findora. No.
But I just wrote it down because now we're gonna have to buy something. So that's what it's on the sheet.
Yeah, you better buy before Nick and Chris do. They're about to here soon, by the way. Unless Nick already did.
No. I haven't been buying. I've been very sensible. I don't think the last buys I did were for Sandbox. I think 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧
3 months ago.
Yeah, something like that. Matic, yeah, rode them up in that recent move up. But other than that, yeah, I haven't really been buying anything, being sensible.
I've been dollar cost averaging. Like, I think the prices are still reasonably good to, with small money to dollar cost average into the market.
Joey, go ahead.
Oh, well, you know what? I've been buying, Mike, as a true DJ, and I've been essentially buying leverage shorts, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
we talk about tradings differently.
Joey is the ultimate. He has turned into a true degenerate. But hey, it's working for the guy. So hats off to you. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to watch the charts like that. I just don't.
So back onto kind of Cardano, right? All-time highs. What are people's expectations for the next kind of run for Cardano? How high do we think this thing could potentially go?
I'll start. I'm gonna go with $10 is a given. I feel like it has. Look, man, I don't know. Make $25 by the end of the next bull cycle. 25.
$25.
Yeah, I do. I really think so. I think
there's a big number.
Hey, who knows how long the bull cycle might be? It might be 4 or 5 years. Who knows?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to wait, see Nick's TA, and then I'll tell you. I'm not going to say nothing stupid. But I mean,
this is just your opinion. This is just your opinion.
No,
we don't do a lot of price prediction, but everyone says, and this is my issue. Everyone says $10, right? A $10 ADA. We waited for it in the last bull run. I'm buying at $3.09 and $3.10, waiting for it to go to 10. I'm like 3x, no big deal. Awesome. So I want to get away from living, and I think people should get away from living into like the words that other YouTubers and people are saying, and like just pay attention to like right now, the TA, like right now. Where's it going right now in this short time frame? Because I think that's probably the best way that you'll win.
But what's the price prediction?
I think double digits.
Yeah,
double digits, $10 plus.
Okay. What's your thoughts, Joe?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm still kind of in this kind of feeling that if we could be in a structure where, you know, Bitcoin hasn't kind of seen a true bear market across the board, and what I mean by that is I'm talking equities and crash wise, I just don't know if the next bounce up, i.e. the next bull run, is actually not going to take us to all-time highs. I've kind of got that feeling. So if there's going to be all-time highs on Cardano, you know, it could be years for all these altcoins, as far as I'm concerned, potentially. Don't obviously don't know if that's going to happen, but I think, but yeah, I think more than 10 maybe, but around about 15 to 20, I reckon.
Okay, and IK?
Compared to all the other crap out there, I just think it's so highly undervalued. I would like to, you know, I think it's worth, in my opinion, hundreds of dollars, possibly even, you know, coming up to 1,000 if you really want, you know, my take on it. But if you wouldn't, you know, be sensible, and on the tier that I've seen, and, you know, going by, you know, what's possible, I think $10 is a given. I'll be happy with the, you know, the previous all-time high. You know, even that, you know, some of the people bought it a few cents. You know, they rode it all the way up to $3 and didn't sell. Give me $5, I'll be happy. $5, and I'll shake Charles Hoskinson's hands.
I do think Cardano will hit a new all-time high before Bitcoin, though. I don't know if anyone else is aligned to that thinking.
Possibly. But Chris, what's your thoughts?
Well, there's an awful lot going on when it comes to Cardano, and I think it's always quite difficult to give like an accurate sort of price prediction for the next bull cycle, because there's so many moving parts, right? We've got the terrible financial landscape around the world, the conflicts around the world. So, you know, putting time, like a time on it, a time frame, it is really difficult to do. I do think that we will see these numbers that everybody's talking about for Cardano on this stream. I just don't know when that's going to be. I think, you know, you talk about some of the projects and what they're looking to do, and I mentioned World Mobile earlier, you know, trying to basically onboard people that haven't got internet, haven't got like phone connections and that side of things. You know, connecting the unconnected, I think is the phrase that they use. I think that's just massive, because, you know, there's a huge population that, you know, haven't got internet, IK being one of them. I
know.
Jokes. But yeah, look, I think when you've got that, and then you've got, you know, banking the unbanked aspect of things, the DeFi side of things, I think artificial intelligence and machine learning is going to be massive for Cardano, when you consider Singularity are over there, and I think there'll be many others that go over onto the Cardano ecosystem. I do think that the world is their oyster, right? Like they can pretty much do whatever they want to do. I think it's far superior technology to most other blockchains out there, particularly, you know, Ethereum. And you look in what Ethereum's able to have done. I just think that Cardano is really well positioned. So I can't say it'll be, you know, the next bull cycle, but, you know, I think anywhere sort of between $15 and sort of $22.50 is kind of where I'm sat.
Interesting. I put Cardano's price slightly differently than you guys. Obviously, we've got the most bullish scenario, $38, right? That's kind of out there. But if we're kind of more grounded, I reckon we could land somewhere between $5.43 and about $12.90, something like that. That's kind of where I think we'll probably end up landing whenever the next move up does kind of take us up there, whether that's, you know, within a kind of corrective structure, or we have to kind of trend up. I don't know yet, but yeah, it'd be interesting to kind of see how things unfold for Cardano, and definitely some interesting numbers kind of thrown out there, but everyone seems really bullish in double digits. It's an interesting take.
It's going to be interesting to see how things flourish on the ecosystem, because there is real world adoption there, sat there waiting for Cardano. And that's what really excites me.
I think that wraps up today then. So it's fantastic to be joined by Mike, Joey, IK, and the Crypto Boys, and to talk a little Cardano and a little, crypto. So if you have found this useful, informative, entertaining even, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you won't miss another update. Guys, join us in Discord. Links are in the description below. And remember to go ahead and subscribe to the Crypto Boys as well. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.